Hello. I think we are live already. So if you're looking for something, you want to talk about spooky, scary things, you're in the right place. You're listening to The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. Tonight, UFOs, ghosts, fairies, gnomes, and whatever's on your mind.
When they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
You are listening to or watching The Thing at the Foot of the Bed on 105.3 and 107.7 out of New Orleans, Louisiana. I am one of your hosts, and my amazing co-host is next to me. I do all the little housekeeping things, and then I will introduce him as well. It's David. You all know him. I am Lorilei Potvin. I'm a host here on United Public Radio Network. I have my own show, The Angel Rock, on Monday nights from 6 to 8 p.m., and then we do this amazing show together, The Thing at the Foot of the Bed. I am a Canadian clairvoyant medium, crystal Reiki energy healer, Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher, and registered nurse. We are also streaming on TV tonight on Roku under UFO Paranormal Radio. If you want to find that, you sign into the channel store, and then you're going to look for UFO space P as in paranormal. List will come up. We're about the third or fourth down. You're looking for UFO space paranormal and United Public Radio, so you can find us there and watch us there. If you want to participate in the conversation, because if you've been to the show before, you know the audience is a huge part of the show with David and I. You have to head over, please, to be part of the show on UFO Paranormal Radio, either on Facebook or YouTube. You can go to, there's many Facebook pages, including David's, which is the Spirit Experience, my profile, Lorilei Potvin, our YouTube channels, which are the Angel Rock with Lorilei Potvin and the Spirit Experience with David Hanzel. So you can see us on there. You can talk to us about it. And if you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. This network's been around for 25 plus years. And when we are not streaming live, the archive server is running. So there's all kinds of incredible shows, but we have all kinds of new, amazing shows, new hosts, as well as some of us oldie moldies, as I call myself. And I think I remembered everything. Over to you, Dave.
Well, hi, did you tell them what? Oh, you already did tell them what you did. My name is David Hanzel. I am a spiritual medium, channel, messenger, angel channeler. I do all kinds of stuff, some Reiki and everything else. And I love to talk about this crazy stuff that Lorilei and I tend to talk about. Before we start, Lorilei, and surprisingly, she might be on now. She might be watching now. An old friend of ours, an old friend of mine, and you know her too, has just called me right before we're ready to go on.
Who's watching?
We'll find her. Let's see. She should be watching. She probably is watching right now. It's from the
group. I know from the group that shall remain nameless, right?
Shall remain nameless. Oh, there it is. She's under Facebook user, and it is Jess Goldman.
Oh, hi, Jess. I haven't seen you in forever. I'm going to let people know because Jess is here. Dave, you're an angel. Now, the thing is, guys, if you're on Facebook, if you want us to know who you are, you head over to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Give them permission to just say yes, to use your picture and profile name, or add your name at the end. Or if you choose to stay anonymous, that's okay too. But I want to say hi to, we got some of our regulars here. We got Sandra Sharp. She's always here early. Zachary Powers. She says, hi, everyone. Zachary Powers, one of our big supporters of our network, has been around for a long time. Says, good afternoon, everyone. Howie Odell. Let me show that because it just hit it on me. Evening. He tips his top hat. I will stay in my tuba as much as I can tonight, I promise. And Howie owns the Rift Network. It's It's an amazing network that he has, and he streams to Facebook and pretty well most places all over with video and what have you. Dave and I have been a guest on Howie's show called The Orion Effect, and he's a big supporter of our network and many of our shows. So hello and welcome. So Sandra says, escalation of geological activity globally as it pertains to, well, we won't say that word, but global, and it starts with a W. Well, I will tell you, where I am here in Canada, I just said today before we started, I look like a drowned rat because we have temperature-wise in Celsius between 44 and 46 degrees. So that is well almost 110 degrees up here. And we go that low in the winter too, to minus 50, minus 55. Doesn't matter if it's Celsius or Fahrenheit.
That is too hot and that is too cold. And I'm in North Carolina, and you know what? We didn't have any snow last year at all.
No?
Then this summer,
nice winter this year.
Yeah,
Too
today, it's been like in mid and upper 90s, and today it was actually chillier, only in the 70s. But the humidity is so high right now.
It was chilly in the 70s.
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, it was for here.
We had a nice winter because it didn't go down to minus 40. I think we got about as low as minus 20, minus 25, and not like 10 feet of snow.
Yeah, we didn't get that this year. We didn't get much of anything really. Sandra, I will say that I don't care what anybody says. The thing that we are not supposed to talk about, I believe, is a very real thing, and it is changing things quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
know
we're not going to talk about that tonight because it's not the paranormal type stuff, right?
Yeah,
and YouTube
we're
doesn't like when we
talking about paranormally stuff. That's the not normal stuff. We're going to talk about the paranormal stuff. But we were
ahead, and Nicole Thomas Ryan we got here, and Zachary says 110 is chilly here in Arizona. Sure, rub it in, Zach.
110 is quite chilly for Arizona, isn't it?
It is. So I did a ton of research. Sorry, did I not turn off my ringer? I meant to, guys, and everybody messages me even though they know I'm live right now. There we go. I ran out to Walmart before. Good thing the power didn't go out like one time it did, remember, before one of our shows.
Walmart right there. Walmart is paranormal. It is very paranormal.
Well, they said that, is it called the something of Walmart? It's the Faces of Walmart. And oh my Lord, I'm telling you, you want to have strange and unusual. We could do a whole show just on pulling up that.
Let's talk a little bit about like the Walmarts. And I'm not saying anything bad about Walmart because I go to Walmart once in a while. I mean, it's a staple. And I know we're going to talk about our normal subject, you guys, but I just wanted to bring this up. Like a lot of people who are, you know how people who are, say they're empaths have a hard time going to Walmart for whatever reason and this and that. I will say this.
Thanks, Nicole.
As somebody who's pretty much connected a lot, I mean, I can turn off if I want to, but I'm pretty much connected. And it took me a long time to realize this. When I go into Walmart, if I don't focus on just like regular everyday life, I see some crazy stuff in Walmart. I see some crazy energies around people, and it's funny. And some of it is actually, it's real. Some of it is really. I don't want to use the term dark because dark is saying that it's evil or something. Pom Pom, you stop. And I said evil, and he just grabbed my arm. He's like, "Don't talk about evil; it scares me." But there's some really weird energies. Really, like me and my mother were there the other day, and the energy just feels slow. It's like walking through mud.
It feels heavy to me. And what I do when I go shopping, unless I've got a lot of time, because I'm sure you have the same issue. And what I want to point out too, just because I have a couple of friends that are empaths, I say, well, that doesn't happen to me. Maybe I'm not an empath. No, there's just different types of empaths. But when you go out and say you got your energy is big and it's happy and super positive, people just are drawn to you, and they'll be talking to you, telling you their whole life story. And then they'll go, I don't even know you. Why am I telling you that? So I can tell you, I have a huge family, and I have been out over the last, say, 3 or 4 months. When I go shopping, I literally pull my energy in. I just put my blinders on and I go get what I need to get. And I've had so many people come up to me and say, Lorilei, hi, how are? And I don't even know who they are because I just want to do my thing and get out, right?
I'm that guy that when I'm walking through and somebody weird walks by me and I get that little whiff of weird energy, I just in my head I just go, nope.
Nope, not today. Not today. Well, you know what's really interesting too? There's a YouTube channel there. I have a few favorite YouTube channels, and I do follow true crime. And one of the YouTubers I really enjoy, her name is Grizzly True Crime. And not grizzly in as in gross or anything, but grizzly because I guess a group of grizzlies, I didn't know this, are called a sleuth. And so she uses the grizzly bear as her motto. And she started just over 2 years ago, and she's well over 200,000 followers. But the reason why I like her, she sticks to the facts and to truth. And she focuses on the victims of crime rather than the people, the perpetrators. But the thing that she's noticed, and we all seem to notice, whenever the perpetrator is caught, the joke now is, let's check and see what they bought at Walmart. Go to the security cams because everybody goes to Walmart. I don't know why, but they do.
I don't think there's really much of anybody who doesn't go to Walmart. Well, I'm sure there's a few people who don't go in there, but
I'm going to go to Zach's comment first because Zach says if I wanted to see animals, I don't have to pay to enter the zoo. I go to Walmart for free. Well, I don't know if I'd say that, and I know Zachary's sense of humor. But there is definitely some characters. Cassandra says Zachary too true. And Nicole did add the people of Walmart. Yes, I did. I just blanked on the name. I knew it was something of Walmart. You can go there. And let me tell you, there have been all kinds of strange things I've seen on camera, like you said, Dave, even paranormal kind of. And I don't know what it is about the energy. Like you said, it's so heavy.
Yeah, it's something odd. I don't know, but it's. I told you I wrote a long essay on the auric field of animals, human beings, and plants. And it's a long essay. Otherwise, I'd tell you some of it here. I'm going to make it into probably a YouTube video. But it's on the combination of like everything here has an energetic field around it. Mm-hmm. Actually all coincide. They kind of
everything has an energetic field, even rocks and sand and water and
everything. And we can sometimes walk up to it and we can how can you say how would I say merge our energy into that energy and kind of get a reading off it, which is really odd. If you guys like you can get a reading off a rock. I'm sorry, but you can't.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, and Lorilei knows too. So if you're going to say I'm crazy, you got two crazy people.
You got two crazies up here. Cassandra says if it could pertain to the paranormal, if you're getting messages about it, if aliens are visiting to help us halt it or survive it, I'm sure it could come up with just a little effort. Yeah, we're going to see. The only reason, it's not that I don't want to talk about this topic, just I know well with YouTube, they don't like us talking about many, many different topics. So that's why I just thought we'll just kind of steer away from it a little bit, but definitely can't disagree with you.
I can say this though, as far as what I know or what I've gathered from watching everything, knowing seeing everything, going down the rabbit hole in that is one of the things that one of the big things that other, or just call them aliens for now, and I hope that doesn't offend aliens, but it's just an easier thing to say. But the people who would be coming here, otherworldly beings, would be to help us in some of the things, kind of help us undo some of the things that we've done.
Well, there's a theory even, and it depends who you listen to. I have not had an opportunity to upload this interview, but I have interviewed Frank Jacob for the Angel Rock, and he has a paid webinar, 3-day webinar out there called The Tale of Two Timelines. And he gets into the theory that he calls them the J-rods, and I forget what the other name of them is, but the Greys are actually us from 6,000 years, and I believe it's 11,000 years in the future, coming back to help us influence and help us change our ways so we don't end up in the predicament that they're they're saying in this webinar. So it's quite an interesting theory, I'll say.
Yeah, there is something behind that. And like the little grays are actually
Clones.
yeah, clones of the tall whites, and they do all the bidding. Hey, kitty, my Pom Pom doesn't want us to talk about this.
May I? Howie says, may I? Depends what it is, Howie. We were gonna, okay, so what I did was, that's where I started. When you know how we go with this show, we go all around the world and back again, and you guys kind of help drive it, because we'd be doing the show by ourselves if you guys weren't all here listening, and ladies too, and watching. So thank you. And for those who just tuned in, I'm going to remind you again, you're listening to 105.3 and 107.7 out of New Orleans, the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, otherwise known as United Public Radio Network, or we just call it UPRN. So just in case. Okay. Oh, okay. So I see, Howie. Now I know why I asked. But before I get to your comment, I did a ton of research for Monday, because I did a show on my own and I never know where we're going to go. And I downloaded, asked Dave, I sent him a crap ton of videos, and I didn't even give him a smidgen, because I am always fascinated of gnomes and actual fairies that are caught on camera. The other thing I really got off on, or it was coming up in my field, that doesn't sound right, the term I used there, but were people that were caught in mirrors looking and turning away, and the reflection did not mirror their actions. So we may be able to upload some of those clips tonight and talk about it. But Howie, let's address your comment. You want to read it, Dave?
Yeah, it says, by ASSAP statistics, Walmart is the most haunted business in the world per capita. I would not doubt if Walmart had a lot of haunted things about it. There's usually haunts, as far as I'm concerned, happen when there's some kind of energy, some kind of disruption, or some kind of big deal that happens someplace. And that's why, like residual hauntings,
yeah, well, depending where they build it too,
yeah.
right? And then they usually take over either a previous business, or they built from scratch, but what happened on the land below it, right? What they built on.
And you know what? And everybody else talks about it was born on this burial ground and this burial ground. If you really think about it, the entire earth is a burial ground, because people have been living and dying on every inch of this earth for
animals and bugs
and animals for how many thousands of years. So we got underground water, estuaries and things like that. We've got ley lines. I mean, there's all different things that can contribute to a reason why you may have some paranormal activity. Never mind, and I'm going to say this with no disrespect, because I do shop at Walmart. It's 2 minutes away. I'm on a budget, but there are people, a lot of people, depending where you live, and they're worldwide, it's sort of got a more lower economic status, if you will. Yeah. And I'm not painting everybody with the same brush, but I know just from being a nurse and working in communities that when you have that lower economic status, sometimes you see people that are not in a happy state, because, you know, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Never mind, sometimes there's some substance abuse, but that can happen with any economic status. But it's kind of almost like a recipe, if you will, coupled with, I think, where these buildings are built. What's your thoughts? Oh, no, I agree. And actually, Howie, if you go down to his comment, Howie said, I feel it's the energy people bring into.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, that's where I was going with it.
That we both, me and Lorilei both agree on that.
We usually agree.
We usually do agree. And even when we don't agree, we still. See, politics, they should learn from us. Even when we don't agree, we still come to a happy medium.
No, you know what it is, though? We hear each other. Right. And even though maybe either one of us might not have had the experience that the other one is sharing, we hear each other. And whether it resonates or it doesn't, we love and respect one another as friends and leave it at that. Maybe we don't agree. And that's okay. That's how most adults should have all adults should have a conversation.
But yeah, I agree that the attachments people bring in, and when I'm talking about attachments, for me, it's the attachments. It could be something negative that they're carrying around with them. You can call it what you want. Some people say it's in a form or a spirit. Some people just say it's negativity. It really doesn't matter at this point. people do bring that in. And like Howie says, I believe maybe I could jump off somebody.
Well, I think that if your energy, like again, coming from an extremely haunted house and what have you, I still never really understood the reason why or why this happened, right? And maybe somebody had brought up a topic I said today very quickly, the hitchhiker effect. And you know what? Took me a while to find some really good information that just didn't pertain to the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But I can kind of agree with that. Never mind, depending on what mind state we're in, right? Because depression, anxiety, lower vibrational, status, if you will, or energy level, or even emotions, anybody using, say, substances. There's many different reasons why we can have, lowered resistance, if you will, with our energetic field, I believe. Never mind, for example, when I do crystal Reiki, the last thing I do after balancing people's chakras and what have you, I ground them, but I also, before I ground them, I check their auric field. And that's just your energy field, your personal space, if you will, if that sounds too woo-woo, because we all have personal space. And we know, say, somebody that we don't know well gets too close. What do we automatically do? Back up, because it feels icky. We just don't know why. But yeah, people get cracks, they get holes in there, they get knots, they get all kinds of things. So when I'm going through with a selenite wand, and depending, sometimes I can actually tell you what it feels like, if it's slippery, if it's tough to move. I can tell you one person I was doing it with very quickly. I know Dave's got stuff to add. I can feel him vibrating. I was doing it for him as a favor, and I went over his right ankle. And he wasn't in front of me. You don't have to be in front of each other to do this type of thing. And I said, I don't know what you got going on with your left ankle here, but you got a huge hole in your auric field. And he went, holy crap. How did you know that? How did you know that? He goes, I had a major motorcycle accident 25 years ago. My ankle was crushed. And I said, as much as I would like to take the credit for it, I said, it's not me. Your body told me. So yes, we have lots of holes and ways things can sometimes get in. Mm-hmm.
We do. And I was going to say, we probably don't want to scare people by going, oh my God, I heard on this radio show that if you go to Walmart, you can get an attachment. And I don't want people to think that. Although,
no, it's normal. It's normal from bending, from life.
Yeah, you can totally, I think she's a little, oh, there we go.
Going off here.
Oh my goodness gracious. There you go. You're back. Yep, you're back now.
Wrapped. Did you just decide you're going to do this tonight to me?
Well, I think you guys can.
I think it's me.
Hi, Brad.
It's me. It's me. It's my computer. Give me a minute. I'm going to hop out and go on my, unless it stays. Can you hear me?
Gotcha.
Can you hear me? Because I don't know why, but it decided it's going to kick out. If it does, guys, I'll just pop out and head on my phone if I have to. Sorry about that. Hi, Brandy.
Hi, Brandy.
I don't know who our Facebook user is. I sound like a spirit box. So if you're late and you're joining, Facebook user, just so we know who you are, either just let us know your name, or you can head over to streamyard.com/Facebook, give them permission to use your name and your picture, or you can stay anonymous, loud and clear. Somebody knows who I am, says, poor Laura, it's working better now. And I don't know why. Like, I have literally done my show right across, like last week when my partner Del was at camp. I was right in front of the router. Like, I kid you not, 2 feet away, and still. I even rebooted my computer before we started.
Well, it happens. It happens. Pardon the way we look, you guys. We are both living in hot, sweaty places.
I look like a drowned rat. Oh, it's awful, but there's nothing I can do.
Really quickly to go off. Yeah, it is. Oh, Izzy soccer match. Oh, yeah, you're in Indiana too. I know it's hot out there, Brandy. Mm-hmm. I did, because you put up the stuff about gnomes. I also love gnomes.
Debbie. You guys, Debbie. Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. And Well, we talked about something that happened one time. We were talking about gnomes on an episode a while back, and something weird happened, which I'll tell you about later. But we decided, Laura Lee found tons of videos and some, of course, you got to take them with a grain of salt. You got to just look at them. Some are really fun, whether they're real or not. I like
What
them.
one do you want me to upload? And I'll upload and we'll play it.
I think it's the second from the or third
The
from
one I sent you? The one I sent you?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on.
They're just fun. And if you guys want, hi, Jane.
Hi, Jane.
I did
Nice
some
to see
I
you.
did some quick research and I pulled up a whole bunch of bullet points about gnomes.
Okay, the first one, go lay down, dog. I knew this was going to happen. We got the zoo here tonight. You got the grand puppy staying with me. Is it I've got glitches in the matrix caught in camera. I sent you another mirror one. Are you talking from the bottom that I sent you?
Because it's the third one from the bottom.
Which is very on camera. That one is actually quite intriguing.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Yeah, you could play any one of them and we'll just see.
Okay, let me go to Facebook because I can't send it. I'll have to go in your messenger and then play it from there.
Okay.
Otherwise it will be naughty. Puppy, don't go. My grand puppy has decided he's hiding under all the blankets. He's gonna sweat. Well, he can't sweat. He's gonna overheat.
Sandra wrote up there, because you mentioned the attachments of Walmart. That would be an awesome spoof for me. Yeah, that would be. Instead of the people, the attachments. In fact, I kind of think like evil things are probably afraid of Walmart.
I don't know. Like I said, for Howie to add that too, that's interesting. Okay, David. So you're talking from the bottom, the ones you want me to play?
Yeah, give me 2 seconds and I'll look real quick.
Yeah, take a quick look and tell me, because I sent you a ton. I sent ones with the mirrors because I am fascinated with those. As we know, mirrors are portals.
It's a couple of them. The gnome reality, it's a 20-second one, and wake up gnomes are real.
Okay, hang on.
They're not necessarily, I'm not saying they're real. I'm saying I know of situations slightly like those.
Okay, because there's one with a goblin, and I sent that one. I think that one's fake.
Yeah.
Okay, the truth. Okay, this is the truth. This is the gnome truth. Is that the one or the one above it? Wake up, gnomes are real. Okay, hang on.
And this is the reality of gnomes in America. Watch before you judge. That was interesting.
Give me a sec. First, it's screaming. Let me pull it back here. My computer loves to be so dog. This is not the time to cuddle. My dogs all want to cuddle right now. Can you believe this? Give me a sec, guys. I didn't upload these because I didn't know what we were going to talk about, and I have a ton. So give me a sec. We need to
uploading that. Did you see what I sent? I sent Laura Lee. There's a new crop circle in Preston Grange, Hampshire.
Yeah, we can
Grange in Hampshire in the UK.
Okay, why is my computer not wanting to share? Come on, share screen. There we go. Facebook. Okay, share. I wonder if it'll let me play if I share it on here. Give me 1 sec. Okay, we'll share it. And then I wonder if it'll let me play it from the screen. It probably won't, but yes, it's hot because you're laying against me, dog. That's why. She's panting like crazy. Okay, hang on. Did we see much or was it too small? Do I need to make it bigger? Well, it's going to keep playing over and over. Here, we'll make it bigger. I know it's shaky and it looks like it's been shot on a potato. I know that.
Yeah, for me, it's not as much.
Now it'll close. Come on, you close.
For me, it's not as much the that it was taken like that. It's the thing that they have it in the old pointed hat. Mm-hmm. And they did the pointed hat thing.
That one is an old video, okay? Yeah. There's a full video of that. And it's very shaky, the original. There have been a few people with camera skills that have been able to stop some of the shaking. The history behind that video is, for whatever reason, somebody was filming the outside of a house at night and somebody has one of those tall gnome in the garden. Looks like what you would think a life-size gnome would be, with the pointed hat. And this thing stands up and turns its head and looks around and then starts going do 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 and walks like I'd never seen anything like it.
Just walks off.
We're frozen on Facebook, Debbie, because I froze, and I think Facebook's a little bit behind, so hang in there. So Howie had a comment. He said, anyone ever feel sick and drained when you walk into this location? You feel like energetic slam as soon as you walk in. If you're referring to Walmart, I could agree. What about you, Dave?
Yeah, I've walked into places and been slammed. Yeah.
This is an old video, Howie. This is an old video. That no one. It's not a new one. I agree, especially the newer ones. It's so hard whether you can actually call real or fake, because with AI, with deep fakes, with Photoshop, with all the video editing, because that reminded me of something. There is, and the paranormal channels are still showing this video series. It's by somebody off of TikTok by the name of Diego Spikers, and it's in Spanish with subtitles. This guy is good. He is a special effects video editor, and he did a whole series. There's his little niece Amy is sitting there, and there's hands coming out playing with her hair, and as he comes up to her, there's no cut in the video, there's no hands, there's all kinds of super strange. You're going to do this because I'm on camera, are you? Sorry guys, I'll just ignore her. Anyways, no cuts in the video. Is the most realistic video I have ever seen, and he finally came out about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and told people he's a video editor and this was all fake. And I've seen another one from another country in Thailand, almost the same type of story that was covered. And that is fake. They were really good at what they did, but it was fake.
Yeah, the lore of gnomes. And I know what you're saying, Howie. I know, I agree with you. There's any video that was pretty much made yesterday, you need to have a professional look at it no matter what, because they make a lot of stuff look real. Like she said, that particular one,
older video.
It's an old video. It's before all the CGI crap.
Yeah.
It's right on the cusp of. Now, could it have been faked? I don't know. I'm not worried about really whether it was faked. What I look at when I watch those, I listen to the people's reactions and what they say.
Yeah.
I don't even care about what the monster or whatever they're looking at, because doing what we do, we know a lot about people just by hearing a voice, and you can tell. But that's one of those ones that's pretty cool. And I think there's actually
you tell me what I have so many. I downloaded for Monday night because I thought we'll start with a topic, and we ended up talking about tarot and oracle cards for a good hour plus, and that was fine because I'm passionate about talking about those kind of topics. But I downloaded a bunch. The one with the fairy is an older video too, because the other thing I'm going to tell you, there is a guy that's out there from the UK that claims he was catching fairies on video. And this is older, like just when, I can't even say it's CGI. He kind of Photoshopped. I don't know what the name of the program, maybe Adobe, something like that with the program. But what he did was, from the background, it looks real. He's got a beard and he kind of plays the part. But I know that Dell and I were watching, and he's the biggest skeptic there is, even after everything we lived through. And we were watching, and one of the newer ones, I went, this looks fake. I'm calling fake on this. So he happened to do some research, and super nice guy that was out there. I think he was in Finland or Norway, and he would take videos like them and debunk them. But you know what I liked about him, Dave? He was so kind. Like, he wasn't mean about it. Like, he was really sweet about it. And like, he had so many positive things to say to call this video out. He had done his research, found out the guy's real name, found out this is what this guy does for a living. But he said, you know what's so beautiful about it? Now that people have discovered that it's fake, because he was one of the first ones to come out. I think he did kind of a follow-up after. He said people still enjoy the videos because of all the beautiful footage in the forest, background and what have you. But yeah, you have to be careful.
Randy said, "Are you speaking of Anthony Gum?"
No, his name is. Well, I could probably find the video for you.
There's a
His,
guy on YouTube that makes a bunch of fairy videos, and he makes it like they're supposed to be real, but they're not. But he does
I'll
a
find him for you right now. It's oh, he doesn't even go by his real name in the videos. Let me look up fairies caught on camera for you as we're talking. He comes up all the time, and from the background, like when you see them in the background, they do look real.
thing
Fairies.
that bothers me the most, I think, about the whole folklore of gnomes and everything. I like gnomes and fairies and elves and everything. I know that the elementals exist.
I do too.
And I'm not saying I believe they exist. I know they exist. But a lot of people, like, especially in the newer ones, when people find, like, oh, here's a gnome, and they put the scary music behind it, and right away human beings like to jump to a place of fear and make it about fear.
I found him.
The only reason they do
Erwin
that is because fear sells.
Okay, this guy's name is Erwin Saunders. First sighting of a pixie. This was over 5 years ago. And I think it's older than this. Okay. I think he knows he says you can donate or buy digital downloads of my drawings. He's been outed. This is a 9 minute and 46 sec. I won't play it because YouTube gets picky unless we stop it and keep talking over it for fair use. But I will show you guys what he looks like in the channel. This guy, and they do look real, some of his older ones, because they're so far back, you see something there but you can't see what it is. And then he got bolder, and then that's when I noticed that he was he started showing that or like you started to notice, like as he got a little closer up, you went, oh, this is fake. Hang on, I'll share it for you and you'll see his channel. He doesn't even look like this in real life, and he does not use his real name on this channel. Let me see if I can make it bigger. You're going to let me make it bigger? No. Oh, there we go. There. Okay, first sighting of a pixie. Yeah, he doesn't put it in the thumbnail, but that's the name. That's not his real name. I think his real name is Paul. Yeah. So, Brandy, yeah, I don't know who you're talking about with Anthony Gum, but I might have to check that person out. Facebook user. I had a question last week at the end of the show last week. I don't remember what it was. Do you? No, I don't remember either. I'm not sure who this is.
Yesterday, yeah.
On Facebook, coming up as Facebook user. So, Debbie, I'm sorry. I don't know why that happens to you. We had Jesse here, and I'm not sure who else is here. Somebody said they were from Great Britain over here too with Facebook users. So,
yeah, they were commented on the one from Great Britain. Were commenting on when I talked about the crop circle that's right next to them.
Okay.
Now about gnomes, I know who this guy is. I like him actually.
I like him too, but like I said, the guy that debunked him, what was so sweet about him was that, like I said, he wasn't mean about it. So is there another one you want me to play, Dave? Hang on, I'm gonna go up a little higher. This pixie video, I love this pixie video. It's been shortened, and this is an older video. Do you want to play that one?
Yeah, go ahead, play it.
I think this is the full video, so give me a sec. I'll see if it is. My computer wants me to touch it instead of no, we want to open it. Open it.
The Facebook user said that people dishonor their existence, their sacredness, which is very true. We do have a lot of people who dishonor those.
Yes, the elementals.
They make them, and that's what I said earlier. That's what makes me mad, that it's always got to be they're after you or going to get you or something. And like I said, because sometimes in the paranormal world, they're not going to get anywhere unless they put kind of fear behind it, because nobody wants to hear about a happy ghost or a happy thing, but they all exist. But gnomes are the fairy tale of gnomes. See, even if you go back, I've got these bullet points that I looked up about them, but even when you go way back, gnomes are commonly portrayed as wise, gentle, and helpful beings, although mischievous.
I've not heard that about all gnomes. There can be kind of crotchety and ornery. And remember, we did Tommy knockers a couple of weeks ago, and I know they were compared to what a Tommy knocker would be as Snow White and the Seven Dwarves. Even that was sort of, they were wondering if that had been.
Well, dwarves are not dwarves. When people would think that Dwarves are the keepers of the forest. If we did not have, and I mean, we're going to sound crazy. So if anybody's listening to it and they think we're crazy, just enjoy. There's gnomes, fairies, elves. Those are the keepers of nature. Without them, our earth would not be in as good a shape as it is.
Oh, I totally believe in them.
Yeah, they can heal plants. They can do all kinds of things.
Well, then there's the legend of the little people with First Nations people, much more so than, say, Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Much more so. Okay, why is my computer? It's not.
You know,
Not
why you're getting that, and I'm not going off. We're still going to stay with all these crazy things, but I had a theory about something. You know, now see, I don't. I think as Bigfoot as a
benevolent.
yeah, a good thing. But there are people that go, oh yeah, Bigfoot attacked me. But I was watching. I was researching different shows and watching them. And I was watching the shows on. I was watching the show on the Dogmen, and this person was describing the Dogmen almost the same way people describe Sasquatch. And I thought, you wonder if the things that do go after people and what happens is they maybe misrepresent or don't realize what it is. They might think from a distance it's Bigfoot, or maybe it's a Dogman.
Okay, well, Dell and I have had many conversations about this, and he's right. I cannot disagree with him. There was one woman in particular was saying they were being terrorized by Bigfoots, and their house was being destroyed and everything else. Well, if you knew this, why don't you put some cameras up to show some footage, first of all? Then you've had other people say that they don't know if it's a hybrid or what, but the red-haired Bigfoot or Sasquatch are the ones they were saying were they're being attacked. But so Howie says BS. There's only one count of any I have to agree, Howie. Dogmen totally different. Agreed, Dave. Yes, I agree too, Howie. So How to Hunt. He's a Canadian guy out in British Columbia, prime Sasquatch country, like kind of where I live in Ontario. I'm going to be honest with you, and sorry, Steve. I don't really like him. I find him very arrogant, but he gets people sending in stories. He calls them the Saba now. I guess it must be a more First Nations name for Sasquatch and some unexplainable cryptid. And he gets people writing in about their experiences and encounters. And they send pictures. A lot of people send videos and pictures. So it's an interesting channel. So if there's something you want to see or hear people's personal accounts, but I can honestly tell you, I don't think I remember hearing of anybody being attacked. There was a beautiful story they shared. Somebody where a little girl was a First Nations girl somewhere in North America, and her grandmother took them out blueberry picking, and she wandered off, she said, and she went around a bush and she ran in face to face with a Sasquatch. And he never hurt her, and she put her hand up to his, and they were touching hands, and the grandmother saw and just flipped out because of the I guess the legend within their tribe, right? So she grabbed her and they went home. But then she said the next day she looked out the window and she saw the same Bigfoot outside the fence. And to let her know that it was him, he held his hand up to let her know. So I have to agree with you. I've heard nothing but positive.
I don't hear. Yeah, I only hear positive stuff, and I think the Dogman, of course. Like I said, I come from Wisconsin where we had the Beast of Bray Road, which was a Dogman, and they had so many sightings. Now that was sort of aggressive. It's never not been aggressive. Every sighting is, but Bigfoot, and I think maybe that's what I think what people do. Either they're mistaken Bigfoot for Dogman, or they're just trying to get some kind of clout off saying Bigfoot tried to kill me or Bigfoot drove my car into the ditch or something, whatever Bigfoot does that's bad to them. So I'm not quite sure, but I think people do the same thing with like gnomes and fairies and stuff like that. Now, I will say with the gnomes and fairies, though, I agree with Lorilei. There is something about them that they do some stuff that maybe to them doesn't seem negative, but to us, it's like
I think they find us negative because a certain way you approach and connect. And I know with the little people, with the First Nations, depending on where you live geographically, like they tell you never to whistle in the woods, or then you've got the legend of the will-o'-the-wisp. I have a fairy garden every year. People, I can tell you, it brings people together because they stop. And I have a problem with gnomes, as I joke and say I do. I love gnomes. And so people stop when we're outside, because I spend a lot of time outside, especially in the summer, and they stop and talk. I have met so many beautiful people in our neighborhood from coming by to stop. So to me, it's brought people together,
Oh,
basically.
and gnomes, just some of you guys already know this, but some who's ever listening, to talking about gnomes being evil. A while back we did a show, and I used to make like little gnomes because I love them so much. And I went to get one off my
Oh,
shelf,
I've done that, yeah.
showing it to Lorilei on the camera, and then something all of a sudden like pushed or fell off my shelf, my bookshelf behind me, and I didn't really bother to look to see what it
It
was.
was during a show, remember,
Yeah,
Dave?
it
You
was during
grabbed
the
it?
show. Yeah,
Mhm.
it was loud. And the next day, backstory, I had hurt my hand, so this pinky was stuck down on my left hand. One thing, after I was showing her the gnomes and I got that gnome off the shelf, what fell down was my palmistry hand. And when it fell, it broke the pinky on the
Exact
left
same
hand,
finger.
which was in the exact same place.
Mhm.
And I'm like, now see, this is what we talk about when we talk about like discernment and stuff. Some people might have thought that was scary. Some people might run with it and go, oh, it's saying it wants to break your finger off or eat your finger. So, who knows what they might say. I took it as they just wanted to know that, yeah, we know you. We're watching you. We got that. We know what's wrong with your hand, you crybaby. And just kind of dropped it on the floor.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the old saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think it's the same thing with people, because I'll tell you one time that, I mean, we get all kinds of people contacting us and not complaining. I love meeting new people, but sometimes people with not such great intentions. And I remember this one woman contacted me, had to be about 5, 6 years ago, and she was going on about the evilness of 11/11 and what it evil omen it was. And I'm going, WTF? Like, what are you talking? I didn't say anything. I
Yeah.
went and looked it up. And yeah, her perception, there is a perception out there. So I think it's how we choose to look at things. I also believe that knowledge is empowering. So the more we educate ourselves, that's why you'll always hear Dave and I say, work with many different mentors, because you get a different perspective and a different way at looking of things. And then you have to be able to discern and choose what resonates with you and how you choose to look at the world.
Look at it this way, too. Anything you want to see, because of how, well, I know a little bit of how it works here, but whatever experience you want, you get. So this is basically a make up your own experience thing for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but that's where all I was going to add to that, Dave, was either it's the old proverb or what you want to call it, right? Glass half full or glass half empty.
Exactly. It's all how you see it. Yep. It's all how you see something.
Mhm.
I tend to see things in a brighter light, but that's just because it's me.
And that's okay. There's no right or wrong answer to it, like you said. And there's a reason why we're all here. None of us are by accident. So it's also part of your experience on this planet about sort of maybe some of the things your higher self has hoped that will help lead you to whatever reason you're here.
If you want to experience nature spirits, then all you need to do is put that into your experience, and you have to let them know. You're like, hey, I want to connect, or hey, and you have like somebody has said earlier, they are sacred beings. They are beings just like us, and they should not be disrespected. And Brandy had said too, it seems like they take care of nature and they protect it.
I
So
call them earth angels myself. I consider them the guardians of the earth.
yep, it says, yeah, because Brandy says, I feel like their energy is similar to protecting and preserving what is theirs. And that's absolutely true. They may believe, in their experience, the forest belongs to them. When we come in there and we do something crazy, maybe they do get mad.
Well, I think there's a certain way to connect with them. And I think you kind of touched on, I'm going to play a video that's older that I think is one of the best if it's real, that's been caught on camera in Great Britain. But what I was going to say, I think there's a certain way and understanding. And I think if you show them like a love for animals, or you show them by maintaining a beautiful garden or your lawn or whatever it may be, you show them that you care about the earth and you care about nature. I don't know if it works or not. I put crystals out. I sometimes leave them little sweets and stuff for them, because that's my belief. That are they going to eat the sweets? No, but there's energy in that, right? So to me, and I do converse with them. I know it sounds crazy. If you're tuning in, you're going to go, Lorilai's lost her mind. But I do. No, I'm not sitting out here talking with my mouth, but I do converse with them. That's why I spend a lot of time outside, especially in the summer. And I respect them and I believe in them. And same as gnomes, and there's water spirits, there's tree spirits. I know Brandy mentioned some beautiful things above we can go back to, but I think it's all about perception. Jane put a good comment here, but let's play this video, Dave. What do you think?
Video.
Okay, I did try and make it bigger. I don't know what it's doing here. Are you going to play for me?
Look at that beautiful green footage.
Oh, I got to play it and make it bigger. I'm going to try to make it really big.
I feel like a Bigfoot today with my hair. I've got Bigfoot hair.
Hey guys, hang on. I screwed that up.
Right up there.
Let me start over. It's my fault. I forgot to share it. So you can, I think you probably can't see it. So give me 1 sec, because I was so concerned about getting it blown up for you guys. Hang on. I'm trying to get it to go back to the beginning. Go back to the beginning, you. Now you've decided you don't want to do it. Let's see if I can.
Tree spirits are as real. Just as tree spirits are as real as people spirits, and that's true.
Okay, so we got it there. Let me make it, play it, and I'm going to make it big for you guys.
Oh, wow.
Big apples. Very big apples.
Are they still on it?
There's a
They all
few,
fallen.
some there, and most of them are on the floor. And
Oh, yeah.
What's that? Yeah.
Oh, look.
What's what?
Where?
Yeah, look. Right up there. Insect or something.
Is that an insect? Let's have a look.
I don't know. Oh my god.
Oh,
Apple tree.
No,
oh wow.
just give me
Big apples. Very big apples.
Are they still on it?
Let me here. There we go. So I don't know what you guys think about that, but that's, and I've also seen actual skeletons, fairy shaped and even hobbit shaped with big feet with skeletons. I have seen things like that. I have a friend named Augie Nost. He does broadcast Team Alpha, and he's just restarted one of his spiritual podcasts, but he has on his webpage, I think it's AAGE-NOST.com. He has over 3,000 pictures of strange anomalies and things that have been photographed or been captured on Earth. And he has both of those pictures I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's one. There's a picture of, well, I know the little mermaid skeleton thing, that was totally debunked. But there's another little skeleton that was just found, and that they were saying it's a fairy skeleton, but it's like, it was just recent. I gotta look it up and I'll show it to you later. They're like, it's real. So I just like, this is real. This little skeleton thing is real.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
still here. I'm going to let this little beast out. I got the whole, speaking of the animal kingdom here, between the grand puppies and now the cats decided I want to go out. So I'm still here. So,
All right, so I'm just gonna read Jane's comment here.
Thank you. Okay.
Jane says there's an animal communicator, Kathleen Jones, who has been in communication with Sasquatch for many years. She lived in Applegate, Oregon. She used to call it Coast to Coast Radio every time there was a Bigfoot show. She was involved with the writing of a spiritual Sasquatch book explaining that they are interdimensional beings. I'll get the name of the author. Yeah, we talked about that too. I know that too, that they are they're interdimensional. That's the only reason they're not finding anything.
If I had thought about this, I should have had Varla Ventura on. She's written a whole book about fairies, gnomes, brownies, trolls, pixies. I could go on and on. Every single name you can possibly think of, she's written a book. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Dave.
No, that's okay. But yeah, Jane, that's absolutely correct. I believe that same thing. And I have to say it's a belief yet. which means it's a very strong belief. I would say there's a difference between belief and knowing. Belief, it means that you really think something is true without all the facts, where knowing means you know it's true. It doesn't matter. There's nothing you could do to change it. But I am a big believer in that they are interdimensional beings as well. But you know what? Gnomes and fairies are also interdimensional beings.
I agree with that too, but there's another clip I sent you, and there's one I thought it was kind of a bug, except you see little legs on it. Again, I have to go with what Howie's saying. Nowadays, I think we have to be uber,
Yeah.
if you will, skeptical about these things, because there's just so much technology out there that people could make anything look real nowadays. That's why I have more respect for videos like this that have been around for a long time. I have more known ones caught on camera. But you know what I was thinking, Dave? See what you think. I know you're going to add something about them. Some of these mirror ones, those were crazy.
Oh, the mirror guys. Yes, you guys. You guys see those ones about, I know there's I don't know when it came out. There's actually an app where you can do it now. But that app,
They're old.
yeah, but this app wasn't invented back then. But there's a couple that I saw that really freaked me out. And I can only say that I have a good, healthy belief in that, because I can't tell you how many times, even just the other day, I was doing a live on TikTok, on my TikTok channel. I was doing a live in the woods. I think I told you, Lorilei, I was doing this live, and right when I was getting done, someone walked right behind me. And
Oh, you did tell me about that. Yeah.
I could have swore it was there. I mean, I felt the breeze, I felt everything, and I asked everybody, did you see something? But and I just knew that it was a young guy. He was wearing, and this is how much I saw him, as a young guy. He was wearing red pants, and he was wearing like a white football jersey, and he had a little darker hair, and he didn't look to, I guess I would assume he wasn't more than like in his 20s. It was odd. And so I think stuff can show up, and maybe he just wasn't really behind me and he just showed up in my screen. I don't know.
Well, I think he was. He might have been in spirit, and you didn't necessarily feel him or sense him, and maybe your camera caught it, because Jess mentioned about tree spirits are as real as people spirits. Absolutely. Yep. And Kim, I don't want you to think we ignored you. I did address it, but you were, as Facebook user, you had said you had asked a question at the end of last week, and did we remember what it was? And I don't. I'm so sorry. Do you, Dave?
No, I don't remember. I barely remember yesterday, though, Kim.
Yeah, she says, I love when my morning doves visit. I have 3 bird feeders. Yep, I've got bird feeders. And for the first time ever, the Dell let me put up hummingbird feeders. Now, he wasn't being mean, and he doesn't boss me around, but we have had yellow jacket infestations, and this is the first year we haven't. So, but no hummingbirds yet. I saw monarch for the first time. Hello, Angel, or our co-host is here. Hello, yeah. Angel.
Now, did you ever see the movie Cat's Eye?
I don't know.
Steven Spielberg. And there was and it was funny because the kitty jumped up, and I was going to tell you about it. It's like a trilogy of stuff. I can't remember who did it. Maybe somebody might know. Howie might know the movie, or Sandra. But
Zach might.
People were always afraid of, there's like an old thing that if a cat jumps on your kid's
not true.
He can suck the breath out of them and kill them. Well, there's a gnome in that one, and the gnome ended up being the bad character in it, but it went back through that where was I getting at now? There was a lore about cats doing that, and in this movie they showed this little gnome. It was really quite interesting, but of course in the movie they made the gnome evil.
Of course.
They changed it around.
I'm trying to find. Okay, now this one, you guys, it's crazy. The first one I call BS on it, but it has some interesting things in here. Give me a sec. Let me pause it. Pause. Actually, if I could go back just a wee bit, instead of the first one's kind of stupid. I'm sorry, but it is. I call fake on it. But hang on. There's some, the other ones though I don't. So this is with a mirror. So give me a sec here. Like I said, you guys, I must have downloaded 30 clips because I wanted to have a bunch of stuff to talk about Monday night because I did a show on my own. And Kim says, haha, no worries. Yeah, don't expect us to remember even. Oh, Zach says the movie isn't coming to mind. Not sure which one it was because I thought Zach will probably remember. Howie says he was playing his tuba. Now, whether he was or not, I don't know. But hang on. Let's see. Am I sharing this up here? Okay, let's share this. I'll get it set up here. And then what I want to do, I got to play it. So this first one I call BS on you guys. How fake is that?
Yeah, that's a fake one. I know that.
Okay, you think that one's fake too? It looks fake to me. I don't know if this one's fake or not. I'm trying to remember because I downloaded so many. I couldn't see what was going on in that one, really. Okay, this isn't the one. I've got one that's better than this. That was weird.
I know, but that's what the guy did before that became a trend to put that in. As soon as they become a trend, that's the one
I think this is fake too. I think a lot of these are fake in here. But there's another one. Okay, so we've seen the fake stuff. I think this is almost over. Oh wait. I'm trying to remember if I think this is one I called fake on, like this looks fake to me. Completely fake. Because any of the ones I've seen, there's one of a little boy I'm going to show you guys that I think it's been going viral. That one I do believe is real. Like these are lasting far too long. Like there's this one right here. I think this one's real. This has gone viral, that one. That was over in the Philippines.
all of them was the best one.
Yeah, that one was real. There's another clip I sent you that I think they're more real. Like these other ones ahead of it, they just look fake to me. Oh, Zach says I got distracted by the pretty kitty. Oh, that's Angel. That's our co-host.
Angel, Angel ran off now. She's been...
That was definitely fake. The last one with that little boy, though, I don't think that one was. That went viral.
If it is fake, they did a great job. Mm-hmm. But I think I enjoyed that one. I have to say, I don't get a vibe from it. You know what I mean? I don't get it's fake vibe.
Well, the other ones look so fake. I'll see if I can. I sent Dave a ton, but I have way more I downloaded. I had Glitch in the Matrix ones I've caught. I had because I spent all day Monday researching because I know it seems like we just pull this out of our butt, but we don't. Sometimes we talk early depending on how much research, but we do research on these topics. And like I say, when I do a show on my own, I never know where we're going to go with things. I love doing shows on my own, but I want to be well versed, and it's nice to be able to pull up some of these clips that we're talking about. I'm trying to see if I can find the other mirror one, Dave.
There's a mirror one with a little girl.
Is there?
She's got dark hair, and that's a really good one too. That one, and it's not doing anything scary. It just literally the little girl turns around and the reflection just stays. And it's like I said, people always want to put something scary behind it or make it scary, like the girl with the ghoul behind her and all that. So
I'm watching some of these clips I've sent you because I sent you a bunch. Known ones that I think most of them look real. I don't know. You tell me what you want to play next, or anybody. Oh, here's another mirror one.
Yeah, play the mirror one. I'm just grabbing a drink of water, so I'm just going off camera for a second.
Go ahead. I'm just going to open it, and then I got to stop it because it'll play. Stop. Okay, that started at the beginning. Okay, we got it at the beginning. Now I got to come back here. So many buttons to push, guys. Sorry. Okay, present. Jane sent the Bigfoot portal, Kiwani Lapsaritis. I've heard that name before. And Nicole says, I find the topic of glitches in the Matrix interesting. I do have some videos downloaded. So there you go. So hang on. We will share the screen so we can certainly play those tonight. Or if you guys have got some links, we can see them here, obviously. So share away, depending on... We're going to trust you that you're not going to say anything inappropriate, though, right? Because we know most of you people here that are here in the chat, you guys are supporters of the show, and we appreciate that, including all the people that listen too. Okay, I'll wait till Dave comes back and then we'll play it because I know he didn't have time to watch everything. David and I have had crazy schedules. We had a death in the family, very unexpected. He's not playing. I did not play that, guys. Sorry. As I say, we had a death in the family.
Oops, I'm back.
This video just started playing. As I said, we had an unexpected death in the family this week, and the video started playing. I didn't play it. Okay, ready for it? I didn't want to play it. This is another mirror one. And Nicole Thomas Rhyme was saying, I find the topic of glitches in the matrix interesting. And then I got to go for a walk as it's getting dark. Fun. Thank you, Jess. Well, thank you for being here, Jess. I hope you'll come back.
Bye, Jess. I'll call you soon.
Oh, go ahead, Dave. Sorry.
Nope, I just said I'll call you soon.
Oh, thank you, Zach. Yeah, it's actually the Dell's uncle, but I knew him because we have the same aunt and uncle together, and he was living with my aunt and uncle for many years when he was younger. So I knew him quite well. So it was very sad, but he had been diagnosed full of cancer 2 weeks before, and he's already gone. And in a way, what a blessing to not have to go through something like that. So
this might be the one that I was talking about. Let me see.
Okay, this might be the one. Hang on.
No, that's not it.
Is this the one? You can tell by people's reactions too. I've seen that one before too. That was weird. There's a little boy again. That was weird. That was in the Philippines. Are they showing it again? Yes, they're showing it again. Okay.
She makes like a creepy smile.
Oh, this was creepy. I remember this. My investigation, you could see by her face.
This is the one. This is the one.
Let's see what happens in this one, because I looked at so many different ones. Ooh, that's creepy because there's 3 mirrors, right? It's that one center mirror with the 2 side mirrors. That was creepy.
That's an older one too, so that one I can kind of buy into. I do, just to keep on. If you guys ever want to try doing this, this is it's a candle meditation, a mirror meditation that I used to do a long time ago. And I'd take it like in the back of my wall and I'd put up one of my skinny mirrors, you know, and I would sit in front of it and I would put a candle between me and the mirror, and I would light the candle and turn off the lights. And it's you go into this meditation, you just stare into your eyes and all this stuff. And it happened to me, the face starts to change. Your face starts
to change. Pictures of my face changing.
Yeah. And it does. It's I've looked at the mirror, and it's funny when you guys, if you look into a reflection in the mirror, it's kind of could be a really creepy thing, because you know how one day you'll look in the mirror, your hair can look exactly the same as it did earlier in your face, but you'll look in the mirror that moment and go, I don't look so good. And then you'll look an hour later and go, oh, I look really good today. Let's go out.
I don't look in the mirror that much, but I can tell you where I notice a difference if I'm getting ready and then I get a picture taken, they don't look the same to me.
Yeah.
But where I will tell you, I have pictures of this. I had an old homemade fairy door in my previous home, and I was talking to someone. We were wondering, like, could this be the opening? How this activity started in the house. And there's a picture of me holding the fairy door, and these pictures were snapped in. Well, I can probably upload them if you guys want, but they are snapped within literally a second and a half. 3 pictures. First one is me. Second one is me. Third one still is me. You could tell by the tattoo on the finger and whatever, but the eyebrows are really heavy, like almost Cro-Magnon, man, it looks like. The nose is wider. The lip is different. It's not me.
It looks weird. No, I saw that one. You showed me that one.
Mm-hmm.
That is kind of odd. Well, you got to look at it this way, everybody. You know what? And I knew this back when I was studying cosmetology and like esthetician stuff. This is years ago. I was like 20. We all have three faces. So if you take your two right side faces and put them together, your two left sides and put them together, that's two different faces, and then your face normally.
Yeah, because you're not perfectly symmetrical as much as we think we are.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this because Nicole's got a good comment here. You want to read it, and then I'll highlight the second one, Dave.
Okay. Nicole says, I started having issues looking in mirrors and feeling as if I was being drawn into the mirror. I didn't have mirrors for a long time because it scared me so much. I still don't look in the mirror a lot. I get it, how you can be creeped out by that. I don't have a thing with mirrors. You'd think after when I used to do that mirror meditation, I would. But I just find stuff very different for me when I see it. But I can see how you would get.
I have a story with mirrors.
Because you know what? That's not a weird thing, Nicole. Because there's a lot of people like that. There really is. So you're not.
She added, I felt like it was sucking me in. But let me tell you guys a crazy story of something that I witnessed on camera live. I was talking to a friend who lives in the southern U.S. This is years ago. And they have always had paranormal activity ever since I'd known them. Okay. And I'd witnessed a whole heck of a lot on camera. I kid you not. And all of a sudden they mentioned, I've got a mirror under my bed. And I said, what? They go, yeah. What do you mean a mirror under your bed? Why would you have a mirror under your bed? And I guess an ex-relative, when they were in their previous place that had severe activity, had picked up this very large mirror from a garage sale. And so they had nowhere to put it. It was very heavy. So they just stuck it under the bed. I kid you not. I am not lying about this. And I'm getting goosebumps telling you. I said to her, there were two of them actually. So she pulled the first one out. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Constantine with Keanu Reeves at the beginning of the movie with the mirror.
Mm-hmm.
When she pulled that mirror out, I swear on a stack of Bibles, it came out. There was a hole punched in the middle, and there was cracks all going out to all four corners, like something had come out of it. And I went, oh, and they said, I'm kind of scared to pull out the other. I have goosebumps, and it is hot here as I'm starting to tell you. As they go to reach for the other mirror, oh, I'm getting goosebumps. A water bottle comes flying out from underneath the bed. So they pulled the other mirror out. It was intact. But what happened after that, I'm not trying to scare people in any ways, because I think, again, kind of what we said, Dave, every perception is everything. That, and I do know that mirrors can be portals. Anything could be a portal. You can have an invisible portal. You can have water underneath your the ground that you don't know is there. You could have ley lines. There's all kinds of things, right? And I'm not trying to scare people.
And everything else, yep.
So what I witnessed was just incredible. I have never seen anything like this. It's quite a story. Maybe I'll put it in my paranormal book, but let's just say this person levitated on camera in front of me after this. This was a whole week of this, and I didn't see it just on my own, not the levitation, but the whole thing. I had two people that witnessed this stuff. It was crazy. So Howie says, I do have a huge thing about mirrors, especially after doing my spiritual work and then learning about quantum black mirror. Oh, no, 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 no. Yep.
You know what? There's something I've always wondered this. Our mind is very strong, and our mind creates the universe, and our mind creates everything. And I think that we can bend. I think that there will be a time where we will all learn to bend reality to certain rates. Now, with that being said, you know what I thought of would be a real cool experiment? Well, not for anybody, but I would do it because I'm crazy stupid. But is to put a mirror in front of me and just nice and dark and just get into like a trance thing and just go to put your fingers onto the mirror and see if you can put your fingers through the mirror. You know what I'm saying? And not break it, but actually pass your fingers into the mirror to see if there's something on the other side. Because when he was talking about black mirrors, there's something in scrying Where in scrying, what we do is we take a mirror and we paint it black. You paint the mirror black over it and you do the scrying into that.
Yeah.
Now, I always tell people you can scry into a tooth, into a Q-tip if you need to. But I will say, scrying into a painted black mirror for some reason alters my perception a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Normally, if I scried into like my little crystal ball or my crystal ball, if I scry into it. Now, when I'm scrying into a crystal ball, basically what I'm doing is just giving myself focus and just letting the energy come around.
I'm so glad you said that, because a lot of people may not know what scrying is. And what I believe it to be is we almost put ourselves into a level of self-hypnosis, into a different vibrational brainwave state, if you will, by focusing.
That's a super great way to explain it. Yeah, that's a really good way to explain it. Because a lot of people freak out. I don't have it with me. I've got this crystal ball here, and it's
I've got a couple. Yeah.
I don't use these. I put like a little candle behind mine sometimes. I just do it for focus.
You can use it with a camera. You can use it with water. You can use it with anything. Like I've shown you guys before with a pendulum. I can hold a pendulum and I can basically move it by focusing. My hand will not move. I've got one over here I can show you. And I'll tell you exactly what it's going to do, when it's going to stop. When you understand about how to focus energy, and I'm not anything wonderful and amazing and unusual. We can all do this. And you just start to focus and you can do it. But the one thing I'm going to ask, I'm going to read all these amazing comments, because I have been taught, now I don't know if it's true or not, but there's been a theory out there that you put your finger up to a mirror and if you see the reflection, it's a mirror. If you don't see the reflection, you won't be able to put your finger through, but they state that that's a portal. Have you heard that?
They use it for hotels too. If you don't see a reflection, there's a camera behind there because the back of the mirror is scratched off.
There's Dave, always right down to regular Earth life right there, but he is right. It's a good tip to know.
I mean, that's the story, but actually it's used in trying to find out if there's a mirror hooked up.
So don't be looking for a portal, look for a camera.
See, I don't care about the camera in a hotel room. They can watch me do whatever the hell they want. I am looking for the portal. I want to look for the portal.
You want the portal.
Yeah.
So how he was adding to the Black Mirror effect, he goes, it's referred to spiritual learning and classes took and being mentored by an ancient Chinese wise man named Han Wu. And then Nicole says, I saw that, Howie, that's why I corrected. He put the correction. It's actually classes. He meant not slasses. So Nicole says, hang on, Nicole, I'm trying to show it here. A long time ago, people covered mirrors when someone died because they believed the spirit could get stuck in the mirror. Yes. Another theory is to open the windows. And I actually have a beautiful story from a nurse that something happened when a First Nations child passed, and the call bell kept going off and no one was in the room until she opened the window.
Now, that used to scare people. I mean, because that is something people actually did used to do, that cover the mirrors because they thought they're portals. But then
stop the clocks stop the clocks too.
And if you go to like a Jewish wake or something like that, they cover the mirrors, but that's only because of vanity. You're not supposed to be paying attention to yourself. All attention is on the dead. That's who you're thinking. So that's why it's in that one. But I did hear about the covering of the mirror. I have to tell you, there are times, and I will admit this, there are some times I went certain places. I stayed at a hotel one time, and I don't know what it was about that hotel, but it creeped me out. There was a dresser with a big mirror right across from my bed. And every time I was laying in bed, I'd watch TV. It was, off to my left, and the big mirrors in front of me. I felt so uneasy. I literally got up and took a blanket and covered that entire mirror because it was bothering me for some strange reason.
But that's not the norm for you, Dave. And knowing the level of strange that you and I and a lot of us do that are here run into every day, that you knew well enough, and I would be doing the same thing. It's like, I don't get creeped out by mirrors. I have a mirror right over there. Or there's mirrors in this room. It doesn't freak me out. So if something's making you feel that way,
then there's something going on.
Yeah.
because I don't. Yeah, because I don't. And Lorilai's absolutely right. I don't get creeped out or scared by much of anything. But when it does, then it's like, ooh, I know that's real. I need you to go to really quickly to Brandy Reader's comment. It's a little higher.
That one?
He's talking about the magic eye posters. I'm going to tell you guys something. It's a little tip from Dave. In like magic eye posters, when I was younger, when they first came out, they came very easy to me. I
can't do them.
Yeah, I did not understand why. It probably, like the first time I looked on it, my eyes just adjusted and made everything come in. Did you know if you can do that in real time, you'll be able to see the unseen? Because that's basically what like I do when I do if I like go real trancy or I really want to see something, I take my gaze and I soften my gaze and I can see.
Yeah, but that's how you can see auras too. If you can't.
Yeah, that's a good way to see auras. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If you can master that, you can master seeing an aura. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, there's lots of people that teach you on YouTube that'll teach you how to do that. Hang on, my computer is not behaving itself today. So I wanted to read Howie's comment, if that's okay.
Yeah.
So he was talking about Sarah, his better half, he said, is a nurse here in Virginia. I hope I got that right, Howie. And then when they know someone is on their ward is passing, they open the windows. Now, isn't that nice? Like, I know working in palliative care, and I have been around far too many people that have passed. I didn't ever believe in that, but don't get me wrong. Had I had a family member that believed in that, you better bet your bottom dollar I would have opened a window or whatever they asked of me. I was there to be of service. So it was interesting to hear this story because I'm writing 3 books, and my 3rd book, I mentioned it many times. I'm collecting stories, mainly from nurses, but also from first responders of the incredible, beautiful, sometimes unexpected human beings transition from here back home. And this is one of the stories I've collected so far. And
why do they? I never heard. Why do they open the windows halfway? Is that so the soul can leave?
So the spirit can leave.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing, though.
Yeah. So what happened? I'll tell the story quickly so it'll make sense. There was a little boy, First Nations little boy, Aboriginal boy, that his family couldn't be with him. They lived up north, and so he was terminal. He was only about 4 years old, I believe. And so the nurses, it was crazy up on the floor, but of course they weren't going to leave this little one to leave this planet on his own. So he did, and they cared for the body, but they didn't have anybody to bring him down to the morgue. So of course he didn't let anybody go in the room or anything, and they treated him very respectfully until somebody could transfer him. So nobody was in the room, but the call bell apparently kept going off in the room. And they kept going down there, like, why is the call bell going off? Why is the call bell going off? And they didn't have time to be running down to go answer this call bell till finally, and I believe this was a nurse I know, it was her mom that's a nurse. She said she was the one that had looked after the little boy, and she remembered the family mentioning one of their beliefs was the spirit can't leave until the window is opened. So they figured, why not? Let's open the window and see what happens. The call bell didn't ring anymore after that.
Yeah, and I tell people this all the time. People always ask me, because for my MDE, they're like, what's it like to pass over? And I said, it's different for everybody because, I mean, there's some similar things that happen. There's some, there's a transition part humans go through because we need to see that. Mm-hmm. It's your belief system is still intact when you first leave.
Yeah.
And like, I think that's a nice thing is if the belief system is intact, maybe that's what somebody wanted someone to do. I think it's a pretty thing to do.
I think I always say we're never going to have all the answers till we go back home ourselves. I'm going to read Howie's thing, but I think I see something above unless something lights up for you, Dave, but it's from Brandy with Asian Society.
Oh, yeah, for Feng Shui, isn't it?
But she said, I think in Asian society that, yeah, no, they say to place the mirrors facing outwards to ensure you aren't inviting bad energy in. I may have the directions of placement wrong, but I think your Dave was absolutely right. I think that's feng shui. And I don't know enough about it. I've kind of dabbled in it a little bit, but I would never give advice, let's say that way. But that would make sense to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
You want to read Howie's, Dave?
Yeah, I was going through feng shui ones.
Okay, I'll read Howie's then if you're going through.
Yeah, a bedroom mirror should never face your bed, they say. Which I'm going to contest to that after my hotel room story. That
Yeah,
mirror
there
was
you go.
across from my bed. Yep.
Yeah.
Place a mirror in the hallway. Place a mirror in the hallway and almost anywhere. Let's see. Be wary when hanging mirrors that face a bad window. And I think there is one about what you say, Brandy, too, is facing it outwards as well. And it all comes under feng shui.
Interesting. So Howie says, experiences. My parents were antique dealers. I have the same passion. I was at a show one day in Ladysmith, Virginia, and they had hundreds of mirrors all over. And my daughter was, hang on, with me. We watched as several spirits were jumping from one mirror to another mirror to another mirror as we walked through this show. Following it. I got to read the rest. Hang on here. Of course, my computer is not behaving. Come on, computer. He said, when I say I've seen almost everything and images of the paranormal, I'm not kidding. There you go.
There's some crazy stuff out there, but the thing is, I think people should enjoy that crazy stuff and not always try to make it scary, but just make it's because it's interesting on its own. Mm-hmm. It's so cool on its own. I love stuff like that. You know what I always thought of? Howie will probably attest to this. I love going to old antique places if I find them, and I'll practice psychometry sometimes, just for the heck of it. And those of you who don't know what psychometry is, it's holding an object and picking up the vibration, the images, and everything of where it used to be, and so on and so forth. But I had thought about, if you went in the antique shops, what if you looked into a mirror and the reflection behind you was maybe like if an old building had a date on it, and then all of a sudden it was gone, and you asked somebody, when was this mirror, made, and they said that exact same date. I think stuff like that would be really, it hasn't happened to me.
I have seen paranormal teams
looking for that.
I've seen paranormal teams go in to antique stores and stuff, and it's usually a very, let's say, fruitful investigation. Now, Howie says we can talk more about this when we come back together for the Forbidden Door, and that's what he's named this series when Dave and I come on his show, the Orion Orion Effect. My brain's not working tonight. So Sandra says, I have a story you might be interested in putting in your book. I'll pass it on later by all means. And anybody out there that has an interesting story that has to do with being a nurse or whatever, please let me know, because I am collecting stories for this book. And then Howie was saying, yes, the imprint of the item or residual images. Yeah, we've still had some activity at our house. I have not talked about it often, as how Dave's holding up a mirror.
I bought this at an antique shop because something was drawing it to me. I still haven't hung it yet. Isn't that weird?
There must be a reason.
But yeah, I bought it for a reason, and I haven't hung it for a reason. So I'm like, who's ever in here, introduce yourself when you pop out, because I don't want to be scared.
So Zach says, I don't go to antique shops as much as I used to when I was in my 20s, but I always have a spiritual pull towards any finds I come across. Okay, so let's just stop there for a sec. Let's think about this. Think about when you go to a store, and we've all done it. Maybe it doesn't happen that often, depending on your economic climate at the moment. But say you don't really know what you're looking for. Say you're going to go out one night, or you can have some friends over, whatever it may be. Maybe it's not even on your shopping list, and you get pulled towards something and you just know you have to have it. We've all been there, right? It's just the perfect thing. It's going to go perfect within your decor or house or wherever you live. It's a perfect color. It's a perfect price. It's the perfect everything. How do we not know that the energy there just pulled you there, right?
No, I mean, it's got to. I mean, listen, you guys, I'm going to show you. I have got the craziest crap like this. I have like this little sun lamp with this little Gucci thing. I mean, these are stuff that was sitting that I said, I've got to have it. I don't know why I have to have it, but you know what? I sure do love it for some reason.
Mhm.
So I do not know.
It's cute.
I am one of those people that I don't like new things. I don't.
You've got some beautiful pieces because he'll usually send me pictures of stuff he gets. He's got some gorgeous
Yeah,
stuff. Like, I don't go to antique shops, but you know what I do love to do is thrifting. And I got to tell you, I have gone when the one thing I will marvel at, because we have, as we jokingly call it up here, Value Village, or you guys have Value Village. Go ahead, Dave. What were you going to say?
I was just going to say real quickly, and I'll let you get back to your story. Here, too, thrifting can be the same as antique stores.
It is. I agree. That's where I was going to go with that. Exactly. So I don't necessarily go to an antique store, but where I marvel at things is the things people throw away that they have never opened. My biggest find at Value Village, we have the Salvation Army here. We don't have Goodwill in Canada, or at least where I live in Ontario. I think there's Goodwills down in probably Toronto area and stuff. But anyways, I think my biggest find, I found over $300 of crafting stuff that was brand new, never been opened. And I got it. No, there's two things. I got it for $7.99. And you know those Polaroid cameras, those new ones, those are expensive. Like up here, they're like $100 to buy one. This thing was brand new, not a mark on it, battery still in it, completely full roll of film. And when I brought it up, the girl goes, "Where did you find that?" And I said, "I just happened to find it." She goes, "Oh my God, I would have bought it myself if I saw it." So you just got to look and you can find things, right?
You can find all kinds of cool. Now, Polaroids were back. I grew up in the 70s, in the late 60s and 70s. And Polaroid cameras, as a kid, always freaked me out because whenever those pictures come, if you just had a little bend in it or if it's hot outside, the film stuff would like move around and the inside faces would get distorted and people go, "Look at a picture of your aunt." I'm like, what happened to her?
Yeah.
Like, nothing.
I love them because like I don't use it very often because these cameras are expensive. Like all they do is give you these crappy, well, they're good pictures, but they're little. Right. And then you had that song, "Hey Ya" by Outkast that came out and he used to sing "Shake It Like a Polaroid Picture" because we all used to shake them. And I think Polaroid came out and said, "You don't shake them."
You shake it to develop it faster. Don't shake it. No, I want it to go faster.
Yeah. They said you don't shake them. So they're cute, these pictures. They are perfect for teenagers and stuff because they're little, right? Or they do make cute pictures. I still have it. But like the thing I found, I'm not kidding. I haven't really gotten into it that much yet, but it's metal stamping with all the metal die pieces. This was brand new. The hammer, the whole thing. It's made by a really big brand name crafting company. And then I found a bunch of inks. I have gotten all kinds of really incredible stuff. That's usually where I look. And then I don't know about your stores, all of you out there, but a lot of these stores sell, like I found all kinds of angel cards that aren't in print anymore. Of course, I clear it. I'm not just going to bring it in the house. I clear it energetically and stuff. I have found crystals. So that's what I usually go for, those kind of things.
Yeah, I clear stuff when I'm bringing in. You know what I was going to say? I got a question to ask you. It's kind of on topic, kind of not. And everybody in the audience listening, if it came to taking a picture on a paranormal investigation, do you think it's better to use a phone for the picture and it's more credible, or to use something with film in it? I thought about that, and I also thought too that, because even on a phone, and I'm not trying to be all conspiracy, I'll be the new conspiracy queen for this one.
But surprised what I'm going to answer then, because I already know what you're going to say.
But I know, what if you went on, like, what if you were on a ghost hunt and you're using your phone, and we all know that our phones hear us talk, and we all know that our phones, if I say toaster enough, there's going to be ads for toaster. What if we're doing paranormal investigations and we're saying ghost and demon enough, and AI is in your phone, hears that and produces it in the back of your picture?
Exactly. Well, my thing is that, yes. Plus, it's so easy. I will tell you hands down. Now, this is just my belief. that the best thing to use is one of those old-fashioned cameras that you can pick up if you can still get them with the film already in them, snapping pictures where you have to get it developed. You know why? Because when you're looking for proof or evidence, those are a hell of a lot harder to fake than say with your phone, or like you said, the example you gave. So I think if you're looking for hardcore evidence, it's just why with the handheld DSL recorders, I have one in here. Every time I look for it on the show, I can never find it, and I'll end the show and find it. But I think those things with older technology were so much harder to fake. Just like we were talking about some of these videos earlier in the show.
Yeah, the older the video, the more credible it is usually. And Brandy even said, yeah, Brandy Reader says, that's why apps require access to your location, photos, etc. See, I'm almost to the point, and I don't want to be a naysayer, but I almost don't, when people take pictures of stuff on their phone, sometimes I think, well, you know what, you can pretty much do, I mean, the world is an amazing place right now. And we're still in like kindergarten. So can you imagine like 100 years from now? Holy cow. You know?
My theory, and I could be wrong, is we will always be the last to know as the public. So to me, my belief is, especially what we're finding out about UAPs, or as they were previously called, UFOs, and extraterrestrial life, or as Mr. Grouch, I guess, named it in your Congress that went on, he called them non-humans, right? So I believe that our powers that be have at least 50 to 75 years of technology in advance versus what we are aware of.
It
Just
does.
my thoughts, but
yeah, because I remember hearing, and it's probably like that, because I used to always hear that everything you have now was basically invented 10 years ago.
yes. Yeah, I
So
think so.
we're just getting everything late all the time.
Mhm.
It's new technology. Although they sure come up with stuff fast. I went from AI chat, well, with AI chatbot, and now human beings are freaking imitating AI on YouTube, on TikTok.
Oh, I've seen that. That is just terrible.
If you want to know what something scary is, there is nothing, there is no ghost, no demon, no devil that is any more scarier than somebody on TikTok back going, roses smell
Yes,
good.
I know. I've seen it.
What? Oh
So
my
for people that don't know, so what people are doing, the new trend, you can give gifts on TikTok, right?
Yep.
And it might be a rose or a cowboy hat or ice cream or whatever. And there are some that are raking in thousands during their live. There was a big controversy with one of the bigger ones out there recently. Forget what her name is. She speaks French. She's a beautiful girl. But she does speak English as well. And they imitate AI and they just sit there. I don't know how you could sit and watch it because they sit there exactly what you said. Roses smell so good. Cowboy hat. Oh, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. And they just sit there and they talk like this. And people keep throwing these gifts at them and then they imitate it and thank them. And I don't know who would sit there and watch that for 2 hours. But
well, there was one girl on there that actually she got me roped in for, and I looked at my watch. I said, I was watching her for 4 minutes. What's wrong, Dave? But she actually was really good at it. It was entertaining, but I couldn't really go past 5 minutes. Nor do I think I'd rather play Candy Crush and buy like extra little things than do that. But hey, human beings are inventive, man. I mean,
that's for sure.
I tell you, I mean, I know something weird happened to the world, but it opened up something because people are like, why should I go to work? I can sit on TikTok and act like AI for an hour and a half.
Well, if you're going to get paid, hey, you know what? If people are willing to buy it and you're willing to entertain for 2 hours, all the better to you. I'm not judging. I'm just saying for me to sit there and watch it, it's a lot. So Nicole Thomas, we're almost out of time, you guys. It flies by so quick with all of you. And thank you for all the great comments and what you share here, because it really does fly by, doesn't it, Dave?
It sure does.
So Nicole says computer hardware is much higher advanced than the software the public currently has. Think about that. You know, the technology there, we just don't have access to yet. And I agree. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I heard, did you hear that? That was a good creepy sound for
It wasn't a ghost. It was my son coming in to see if I'm finished. I'm still alive. I know you let, yes, he let my grandpuppy in. He was probably sitting outside. Would you like to come say hello? Come and say hello. This is my grandpuppy. He's going to be, this is Rogie.
Oh,
Yes, this is Rogie.
grandpuppy.
Yes, Rogie Roo, I call him.
The
He's my
thing in the bed, you guys, we love animals.
and he sleeps. I'm not a grandma. I don't know if I'll ever be one, but I'm grandma, right? Yes, it's grandma. Yes. So now you got to meet Rogie, guys. He's staying here while his dad's, him and his brother are staying here while his dads are having a little trip, eh? So they get along well with my dog and my cat. So everybody's one big happy family, but they were all in here. That's why I got up, because I thought, oh God, the cat was meowing. What was going to happen? So he must have been whining. He's a crier. So he's only 2 years old, but he's been at my house. And I have a German Shepherd. He was a little ball of fluff, and he's been here since day one. He would live here if he could. Zach, I could never pretend to be AI. I feel like I would be appropriating robot culture.
Well, hey, you know what? From what we hear, whether it's true or not, I mean, other beings are manufacturing other beings, and the soul is going into that.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? There's so much out there we do not know, and that's what I like. It's kind of fun being in a position where we don't know everything, because it makes life just really super.
I knew you were going to ask this, Kim, because it just came to me. Kim says, I look back at last week's show. My question was, with UFOs and entities in the news lately, do you think they're here to help Earth?
Yes.
And that's my answer in a nutshell. Yes. And this is what how about we'll leave you with this is, and I know Dave's going to agree with me and probably have something to add. They have been here since the beginning of humanity, if not before. I'm sorry, but that's my belief system. Plus, even with what we're seeing, even what's been being released, okay, if anybody was meant to harm us or hurt us, they would have long ago and have the technology to do so. And if you still don't believe me, start looking up what has happened with UFOs over top of nuclear reactors globally.
Yeah, it's true. And that's, I agree with the same thing. While we're here, I am in 100% knowing that there has been things in this earth well before we have. And so it's all been going on. And that's really funny, because somebody had asked me this question on TikTok and I didn't really answer it yet. But they're like, well, what did we do? They said, before Earth and dinosaurs and animals and all that, what did we do? Because if we're eternal, I said, you could have been other things.
Mm-hmm. Could have went forward. There is no time on the other side. So your next lifetime, you can go back in time, or you could go way forward in time. There is no time.
If you look at it on this point, the way I try to explain to people is from the other side, you basically just step into a moment. That's it. You're not going forward, backwards, anything. You're just stepping into the moment.
And whatever your soul decides that you want to experience in that particular lifetime. Right. So again, because that was my big thing in the beginning of all this. Well, could you actually, I thought, oh, dear God, I don't ever want to go back into the caveman days or the time when you had to give birth and many women died and things like that. I thought, no, please, I don't want that life. But then again, you know what? Just because I think that in my human form doesn't mean I'm going to be thinking that when I'm my true back home.
I'll answer this last question on Kim, and then I'll tell you who I am, where you can get a hold of me, and then Lorilei will. The government is going to come to and tell our people to be afraid of them. I'm not scared at all. I think it's cool. That's absolutely true. I keep telling people, the more the government says to be afraid of them, the closer they are to getting here. I believe this. Yeah, I'm going to say believe. I can't say knowing yet, but I believe this, that it is there. The movies, the stuff that comes out, it's almost like a system to gauge how we're reacting to things for things later on. If you think that our minds are always our own, we can be influenced by things. They give inspiration. They say to do things. So who knows? Who knows? But I don't think, I've never in my life ever thought any of them were mean. Anyway, if you'd like to get a hold of me, you can go to my website, theywhispertome.com, and you can find this podcast and on my YouTube channel, The Spirit Experience, or The Spirit Experience on Facebook, which is my Facebook group. And you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, or everything under Medium David Hanzel.
There you go. And you will see me, you'll see us both here next Thursday, same time, same space, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please stay tuned before I tell you where to find me to the Outer Realm second night of that show on Wednesdays and Thursday nights with the amazing Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano. You don't want to miss that. If you ever want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on Facebook.com/The Angel Rock. Maybe you got a guest or show idea. You want to book a reading or healing session. I also do mentoring. I have 2 groups on Facebook, Paranormal University for all things paranormal, and the Angel Rocker Tribe for many of the spiritual things we sometimes talk about. Also, I will be back this Monday. It is a long weekend here in Canada, but I will still be here. And Carmen Schott Turner will be back, and she's an amazing astrologer. You guys love her. We had to cancel at the last minute this Monday, so we've rescheduled, and she will be here. We're going to talk about our new book, Phoenixes and Angels. I think that's everything I wanted to tell everybody, right?
I think that is, and I would love to tune into an astrologer show. I love astrology, but I don't know much about it, and
I love Carmen because Carmen, okay, and I've met light workers. Either you love it, like Dave, or you know about it, you know a bit about it, but you haven't got a clue. Okay, and I'm one of those people. But I'm telling you, from the first time she came on my show, I went, holy crap, I finally understand the importance and why astrology is actually an individual roadmap for each one of us. That's why it's so important that you know your birth time, your birth date, proper spelling of your name, the whole bit. It's basically a snapshot of the sky the second you were born, and from what the sky tells you. And she's amazing, guys. She even gives away. You go to her website. I think it's Carmen Schott Turner or Turner Schott. I always get them mixed up, and I'm sorry, Carmen, but it's .com. And she sends you, if you put in the details, a free, like 27 to 30 page free birth chart. So we'll talk about that on Monday on the Angel Rock, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Jane says Carmen is great. Yes, she is. So are we ready, Dave? Shall we try? I'm not going to use my phone. I'm going to use the computer. Ready?
Okay. 1, 2, 3. What's at the end of your bed? Very nice.
Almost. We love y'all. We'll see you next Thursday. Okay. And I'll see you on Monday. Take care, everybody.